said one new missed call. Welcome back to the Spotlight. I am your host, Asir. We are here with our interview with Professor Griff. DJ Biggs just played Fight the Power. We don't even have to even elaborate on that. Before the break, we went into subliminal messages, and I held up this can because I thought it was interesting how Professor Griff explained the word cocaine and subliminal messages. And he talks about it in depth in his book, Symbology. Let me tell you, this is a read that I could not put down. One of the things he did in this book, and he and I were talking about, was that it's often said that if you don't want someone to find some information, put it in a book. Basically, they were talking about black people. He said that basically in the book, Professor Griff was saying he had to kind of think about how he wanted to put this book together. And the fact of the name Symbology, he actually included a lot of symbolizations, I guess, to follow up on the readings, that you actually had a visual. And a lot of that was clicking for me when I would read something and then see a picture, or see in this one picture right here, without giving away the book, there's a t-shirt of a woman holding a 66, but there's a word of a 6 at the top of it. I've seen that t-shirt before, or one like it, and it never dawned on me that I was looking at 666. It only dawned on me that I saw what looked like a jersey with 66 on it. So I wanted him to talk about subliminals that we see every day and don't even realize that someone can say, oh, cocaine, it's an energy drink that's just going to boost me up and keep me going, but not even realizing mentally what is stimulating.
Wow. Just the mere fact that they were bold enough to just call it cocaine. Now, who are these people? See, it doesn't stop at the mere fact that somebody 13 or 14 can walk in and buy this. You know, what are the ingredients? Hell, they put cocaine in Coca-Cola.
Yeah, that's a main ingredient.
You understand what I'm saying? So, but the mere fact that they have grown bold enough to put this on the shelf and sell it, and we don't say anything. Yeah, it's a problem. They outright selling drugs. Well, hell, they did that to weed. My drunk Uncle Leroy got locked up for some stuff he had in the car for 5, 10 years. And now the government turned around and said, okay, yeah, we're just going to legalize it and sell it. So let my drunk Uncle Leroy out of jail then.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But check this out. Leroy got out. And Leroy sold more dope than anybody in here, but they wouldn't give Leroy a job. I said, wait a minute, if the government's selling drugs, my Uncle Leroy know how to do that well. Leroy gets no job, man. But your root chakra is red. But our people don't know that. Science, that's ours. You see, they take our signs and symbols and they use them for subversive purposes in order to manipulate and control us on a psychic level. Not to mention on a mental, intellectual, spiritual level. So the mere fact that it's cocaine is one thing, but the mere fact that the can is red is another. Now let me just ask everyone in here, when you driving down the street and you see red, what does it symbolize? Stop what though? You got to stop the vehicle because something else may be going on in the intersection.
A danger.
Right, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But the sacred science that we used to teach, that the lower chakra is the red chakra. See, this grounds you. You understand what I'm saying? The red lower energy center, it grounds you and it works its way up through the other chakras. But they know and understand how they programmed us to think. They know that we're not going to just stop at the cocaine. You understand what I'm saying? We want a higher high, higher than the highest high, and they know they've put that in us because they've been tasting our taste buds. My wife said this to me the other night. We got to retrain our taste buds because what's supposed to taste good don't even taste good anymore. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm saying by that is, all the ingredients that we may find in an average bag of Doritos, all of which are no good for you. You understand what I'm saying? But when we catch the munchies and we want to go out and eat, this is what we reach for. And we've been doing this for years. So much so if someone gave you an orange, apple, or avocado, or a banana, you're rejecting that. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to retrain our taste buds. But what is that saying? They're feeding us some of everything. A minute ago, they put out some synthetic weed on the street.
Yeah, I remember. Mm-hmm.
We started going crazy and we tried to figure out what's happening with young people. They smoking some stuff that they grew in a laboratory somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And then we trying to figure out why we getting these trauma-based songs that keep coming out. Because the people that's making the songs are traumatized.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I just said to myself, in some of these incidents I'm watching on the internet, and I'm like, if I could only had a conversation with that brother, I could have probably saved his life. You understand what I'm saying?
But do you think he would have received it? This comes in a red can and a blue can. That symbolizes what I said in the very beginning.
Me and my
Oh,
crew
yeah.
ain't
Blue
never,
or the blue
me and my
pill.
crew
You have a
ain't
choice.
never had no problem having these guys receive it. Now maybe y'all got a problem with it. We ain't got no problem in the hood. You gonna sit down and talk or else. You understand what I'm saying? Plain and simple.
One question is, what is your opinion on the current state of hip hop? We're gonna get to that.
I don't really give my opinion. Either I got actual facts or I'm gonna be quiet.
Okay, so that answers
I'm
that
going
one.
how I feel today. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We started out a little late, some miscommunication, but we talked coming here. That's cool. Let's push forward. We here now.
Right, we're here now.
You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give my opinion on how I feel about not getting the right address. You understand what I'm saying? We gotta move forward. We grown.
Well, I'm gonna go back to this. The reason why this is so detrimental, I'm looking for it because it has over 250 milligrams, I believe it is,
Wow.
of caffeine in it, and it was banned at one time, and then the United States let it come back. Figure that one
Hold on.
out.
Let me interrupt. Let's not focus on this right now. Cause you said it comes in the blue and the red can?
Yes.
Okay. What do you bank at? Cause I'm gonna show you the real cocaine. See, but we can't keep hitting people upside the head with what's obvious. That's obvious. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And young people ain't reading the label because no one taught them how to read the label.
Right.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You buy a bag of Lay's potato chips or some goddamn Cheetos, it's probably worse than this. But where do you bank at? We can go there and we can start seeing the real poison. You understand what I'm saying?
You know what? And I don't even want to say the name because I know he's got something to say
But
about
anyway,
that.
the depth of what I kind of go into
Yes,
in the book is to let people know on a subconscious
Yes.
level. For example, Bank of America. We look at the Bank of America logo as a square. It's red and blue, just like the red and blue can. Now we keep running across this red and blue. Now we need to figure out what these two colors mean. Democrat and Republican Party.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The red and blue, Crips and
Yes.
Bloods.
Yes. Yes.
It's the same theme over and over and over. Bank of America though with the red and blue square. If you really look in it, now some people that's watching this, y'all can go on your phone and Google Bank of America's logo. The Bank of America logo is a blue, it's a square and it's red and blue. But it's 3 number 11s if you look in it instead of at it. And this is what I try to train people's minds to do, to look in it instead of at it. All right? But what's with the 3 11s? Y'all talk to me. What's the 11th letter of the alphabet? Go through your fingers. That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how mama taught you, right? K, right? What's
Yeah,
big
when he
Ks?
said that, 3 Ks.
Yeah.
KKK. What does Bank of America got to do with the KKK? See, that's the real poison. We can put
That
this
is.
aside for a minute. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
See, it's the poison that, see, they put it in front of us. It's called hidden in plain sight. They ain't even trying to hide this. What's going on behind the scenes that we see the Bank of America every day, we drive by it, but we don't know what it means and how it affects our energy centers. That's the poison.
How do you unbrainwash your
You know,
children?
we got to do some unlearning.
Unlearning.
We got to have them unlearn some things.
Oh.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because we know if we really dive into history, George Washington is not the father, not the first president, not the... All those lies. But in order to pass the test, in order to get the piece of paper to graduate, to move on and be successful, in life, we got to play their game. I used to teach my sons, take 2 sets of notes. Go to school, get that garbage, regurgitate it back, get the grade. Cool, come home, let's learn what we need to really learn.
He talks about that.
Take 2 sets of notes. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just real. That's real. Because if you look at my situation and my personal life, when I said what I said back in 1899, pulling the cover off the whole music industry, people say, oh, he's done. It's a wrap. I'm still standing at 57 years old. Still standing. And what they're talking about, what I talked about in 1989, now everybody on YouTube talking about it. And then I dropped the bomb again dealing with the Illuminati's takeover of hip-hop. People say, oh, they're going to get him. I warned Cat Williams and a few other people, and they came. You understand what I'm saying? And people said they're going to get Griff. Someone said the other day, oh, man, I was just calling to see if you were still alive. I was like, wow. Our people, as much as we believe in God, we put these people over God. We think they got more power than God. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And they don't. They truly, really don't. But men like myself, women like you, and the people in this room, because we know we pose a threat. Coming through the door, we pose a threat. You understand what I'm saying? Because anything that's going to affect the health and the welfare of our children, we know we're going to stand up for them. And they already know that. So they see me coming a mile away. And believe it or not, and I know you're probably not going to believe this, there's been about 3 people in my whole sojourn that's ever came to my aid, either financially or just throw me a life raft or even put their hand out to help save my life. It's only been about 3 people. For fear. For fear. I got a couple of phone calls the other day. This brother made it. He kind of made it through, did his dirt, made money, stacked his cheese, whatever. I'm like, bruh, if you were sitting on a couple of million and you ain't know what to do with it but spend it in the strip club, you knew what I was doing. You could have said, okay, well, let me help you finance the book.
Invest in.
Or let me invest in what you're doing. And I'm like, wow, bruh, for real? Like I said, Luke threw me a life raft. I'm talking about me so horny, 2 Live Crew Luke. Help comes from strange people, some strange. Willie D, MC Ren, Ice-T, of course Chuck, and somebody that y'all probably would never ever think, Mace.
Mason Bethel?
Yes. That's a real dude. On the quiet tip, behind the scenes, that's a real dude. He said, call me. It's like, yo, let me tell you something, man. People may not get this. Black people really ain't reading. I know that you put the pictures in the book and all that, but you need to do an audio book. They could be at the gym, jogging and listening to the book. You understand? One drive from here to New York and back, they don't listen to your whole book. You got to give it to them where they at and meet them wherever they are. I said, you right, bro. And those are the kind of conversations I have with brothers like him. They real. They understand. They in the trenches. They know what's going on. You understand what I'm saying? The average cat that's sitting on money right now ain't never openly coming to my aid. Because they don't want them people to know that we got this alliance. You understand what I'm saying? Who's the #1 financer that financed Dr. King? Do y'all know?
Pondiador? No?
No.
I don't know either.
Harry Belafonte. But no one would ever know that. Because he wanted Dr. King to do his thing. Listen, I'm in these movies, I'm doing y'all making music, whatever. I can't do that just yet. But here you're going to take care of your family. That's noble.
It is. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We never make it to this point by ourselves. That's why I always say, I am because we are, therefore I am. You understand what I'm saying? Nights when I got my head down, I'm like shaking my head, I'm like, because I was telling the brother here, John, right? I was like, man, I ain't did my show in 3 months. I had to pull it back. Because them people came at me again, and I'm like, who do I turn to? If the only one I got in my corner is my wife, then that's who I got to turn to. You understand what I'm saying? Because when them people come, they don't play. They don't play, man. They came 3 or 4 times before. I'm on a no-fly list. Can't leave the country.
Wow.
Snatch my passport. Burn my house down. Orchestrated this whole thing separating me from Public Enemy. The conversation about the Public Enemy movie came up last year. I'm not telling you which company. Blank check was on the table. Question was like what y'all gonna do with him? Because you can't come telling this truth in a movie that's going to affect people like NWA's movie. Oh no, we can't have that. We can't have that. No. So yeah, it's a lot deeper than what we ever could imagine. You understand what I'm saying? But them people ain't gonna break my will. Now they asked James Brown at the peak of the riots that were going on in every black community. They asked James Brown to come in and talk to young people to quell the violence. James Brown said, "Y'all can kiss my ass. I can't stop something that you started. No, you come and talk to him." You understand what I'm saying? It's like, no, I can't stop something I ain't start. Here's your cocaine.
Oh, Casey Scott said, "Love the powerful messages being projected."
Oh, give thanks. I let people know it ain't me. I'm built this way. I'm built for this. I leave here. I don't flinch, man. You understand what I'm saying? Some people go to meet me like, "Where's your bodyguards?" And
right.
Stop that, man. Let me tell you something. The Creator put all of us here, right?
Yes.
And put me on this mission. If the Creator's not big and bad enough to protect and preserve my life so I can get this message out, then okay. But I'm not gonna curse God. But I'm gonna ask a few questions. You understand what I'm saying?
I asked you this, but I wanted to wait. Bill Cosby is back on trial again. And I from what I understand was, this happened at the peak of him announcing he wanted to buy CBS.
They sent him numerous warnings. Chill, bro. You're getting a little bit too big for your britches. They took his son out. I think I mentioned that in my first book. And all the ones that get too heady and high-minded, they send you a message. Michael Jordan and the rest of them. They killed his dad and a few other people I mentioned in my first book. And money is their God, man. You understand what I'm saying? But we tend to think money is our God once we get enough of it. And no, they'll check you and put you right in your place. Who's the character from Chipotle who was running his mouth recently about how wholesome the food is and all that kind of stuff? They had some people from South America take a couple of dumps in the lettuce.
Yeah, E. coli.
And it caused this E. coli scare.
E. coli.
And people, they shut a couple of them Chipotles down and he shut his mouth. And then they came and saw him. See, they know how to neutralize you. You understand what I'm saying? You get too big for your britches. See, but when we watch TV and watch the news, we watch it through a different kind of lens. This is why it was important for them to shut my thing down, because we need it raw. Like, for example, Zuckerberg. They got him in front of Congress asking him some hard-hitting questions. You know he done paid them people off already. You can watch the body language. You can watch what color tie they wear. You can watch the hand signals, and you know they done paid them people off. It's like, come on, man. You understand what I'm saying? Wait a minute. Let's just be real.
Yes, he did.
They created this thing called the timeline on Facebook. How many times you put your emotions on this timeline?
I haven't.
You know you need to stop.
No, I don't. I don't.
You never
put
been
my
mad
emotions.
at somebody?
Nope.
You never vented?
No, I've
You
had
never-
somebody vent at me. You know what? He's right. I take that back. When I was going through a domestic violence situation, I responded, and then
And
I
you
had
put it
to
up
come
on-
back
yeah.
and apologize. He's right.
So we put our emotions on the timeline. And then they take all of our emotions and all of our information, right? Then all of a sudden, the 3 major companies that deal with our credit get hacked. Right.
Right.
And then Zuckerberg, 87 million users, information is out there. Right. This is not by chance or not by accident. But who has a platform to stand up and say this? If Professor Griff and a few other people are not saying it, who's saying it? See, we need to make the direct connection on how that affects us. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So they bring them before Congress, they pay some people under the table. You understand what I'm saying? They go through that whole thing, and it's like, I can tell they're lying. I don't know if you got to read between the lines. See, racism and white supremacy have a language that they use. They used to outright call us niggas before. Then Negroes and minorities and underprivileged. You know, all these cute little code names.
Inner city.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we have to learn the language of racism and white supremacy in order to even watch TV to know what they're talking about. You follow what I'm saying? I'm not falling for the Zuckerberg trick. Half of these people that we know that didn't finish college that are billionaires right now don't even live in the United States. But anyway, let's talk.
Okay. I'm seeing if John has a question.
What about Michael Jackson?
He talks about that in the book. We're gonna.
Let's go back. We're going to lead up to Michael Jackson, but let's
Okay.
go back to your man Bill. I don't
Yes.
feel sorry for Bill Cosby. But there's 3 reasons why they got him on Front Street.
But they didn't charge Weinstein for anything yet.
They're not going to charge Weinstein. What would they charge Weinstein for? You see, that was a normal occurrence for white men. That was normal. Because they didn't respect white women, black men, or black women. You understand what I'm saying? Did you hear that Weinstein created a list of the people he was going to tell on? Oh, so y'all didn't saw that. You didn't see that letter that went out. I saw the rat list. He created an entire letter, he said, of 103 names of people that he was going to tell on if they did anything to him. He left the country, created the list, sent them the letter, and they backed up off of him. See, Bill Cosby ain't got that list. You ain't got that list, man. You ain't got that list of the women that these dudes were banging, and come to find out they were really men. That kind of stuff going on in Hollywood. That's what Cat Williams was talking about.
Wow.
You understand what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
because she's been schooling me. Wow.
So, see, Weinstein created the list to let them know, look, okay, what y'all say about me? I got a list longer than the charges you're gonna charge me with. Plain and simple.
Wow. Wow. I know we have another show coming up behind us, but I have got.
Oh, I know where the place
are we
is
good?
now, so the brothers I can come back.
I have
to
got to read
Come
this.
back, please.
I'm from Virginia. So I've got to read this. I've always wanted to know his. Okay. This was quoted in 1712. 1712. We're in 2018 now. I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee every one of you that if installed correctly, it will control the slaves for at least 300 years. My method is simple. Any member of your family or your overseer can use it. I have outlined a number of differences among the slaves, and I take these differences and make them bigger. We do that today with each other. I use fear, distrust, and envy for control purposes. I'm going to go down. On top of my list is age, but it's there only because it starts with an A. The second is color or shade. There is intelligence, size, sex, sizes of plantations, status on plantations, attitude of owners, whether the slaves live in the valley, on a hill, east, west, north, south, have fine hair, coarse hair, or is tall or short. Now that you have a list of differences, I shall give you an outline of action. And then it goes down to, I shall assure you that distrust is stronger than trust, and envy stronger than adulation, respect, or admiration. The black slaves, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and